You love your dog, don't you? Every morning you wake up, scoop a serving of food into the bowl, hear that familiar clink clank and smile. It's a pleasant feeling, a small ritual full of love. But what if I told you that this exact act is shortening your dog's lifespan? Day by day, would you believe it? According to the 2025 Canine Health and Nutrition Survey from University of Georgia, 86% of dog owners are unknowingly harming their own pets. Not because they neglect them, nor because they feed them toxic food, but because of one very subtle mistake, a habit that seems harmless, yet nearly everyone does daily. We assume that just filling the bowl equals love and care. But inside your dog's body, things are playing out quite differently. It's hard to believe, isn't it, that a simple act like feeding could reduce your dog's years, but it's true. And if you watch through this video, you'll learn exactly 10 mistakes that 98% of dog owners make when feeding. Mistakes that seem small, but whose consequences are far from minor. The good news, by understanding and changing a few simple things, you can help your dog live longer, healthier, and much happier. This isn't a scare video. It's a sincere warning from veterinarians, from people who've seen too many lives cut short by one loving mistake. This video is titled, The Deadly Feeding Mistake. Every dog owner must avoid, because sometimes loving isn't giving more. It's giving it the right way. Section 1. Feeding only. Once a day. It sounds convenient, right? One meal a day. Tidy, easy to remember. No fuss. You think my dog eats fine, seems happy, what's wrong? But inside that small body, nothing is as calm as it appears. When a dog is fed only once, its stomach goes more than 10 hours empty. In that time, stomach acid keeps being produced, churning with nothing to digest. Day by day, that acid begins to pit the stomach lining, silently, slowly, like rust eating metal. At first you'll notice it eating grass, licking the floor, belching lightly. But one wrong twist of the body and the stomach could torsion, blocking blood and air. Vets call this GDV, gastric dilatation volvulus, and it can take your dog's life in a matter of hours. A study from the Dog Aging Project on over 10,000 dogs shows in very few cases does one meal improve cognition, but that's only for older, less active dogs. For the majority of active dogs, one meal isn't enough to fuel the body. It slows metabolism, lowers immunity, and shortens lifespan without you realizing. Imagine your dog's body like a campfire. Feed it regularly, the flame burns steady and warm, but leave it to die out before relighting and the fire struggles. A dog's body needs consistent fuel, not a long hunger followed by overeating. The solution is simple. Split the daily feed into 2 meals, morning and evening. Same total quantity but different timing, different energy flow, and different longevity. Because sometimes one small change in routine can give many more years to your loyal companion. And even if you are feeding at correct times and quantities, there's still one more thing quietly affecting your dog's mental health that almost nobody notices. That thing is the bowl you use for feeding. Section 2. The bowl, killing their mind. Slowly. Have you ever looked at your dog's food bowl and thought, could it be harming their mind? A simple bowl, plastic or metal tucked in the kitchen corner, seems harmless. But for a dog, that's the place where their once sharp brain begins to sleep. In nature, a dog's ancestors spent hours each day hunting, sniffing, problem solving. Every meal was an adventure, a challenge that kept their mind active. Now everything ends in 30 seconds. A scoop of food, a lick of the bowl, and done. No hunt, no wait, no effort. Research from the Canine Cognition Lab at Yale University shows that dogs who don't get mental stimulation at mealtime have higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Over time, they become passive, bored, destructive, or suddenly distant from you for no clear reason. Think about it. How would you feel if you were used to working, thinking, being useful, and were suddenly told to just sit still all day? Your dog feels that too. It doesn't need more food. It needs to work for it, just like its ancestors did. Here's the good news. With one small change, you can make mealtime fun again. Hide a few kibble pieces in a towel, scatter them around the yard, or use a puzzle feeder, a toy with hidden compartments that makes your dog search, think, try. When they eat slower, focus more, tail wag more. That's a sign of a healthy mind. Because sometimes to make a dog happy, you don't give them food. That's easier, you give them a life that's richer. Section 3. Overfeeding. Without realizing, you add just a little more, only 1 spoon extra, because your dog looks at you with those eyes, the kind that soften your heart. The tail wags. The bowl clinks. You think one more scoop won't hurt. It looks happy, doesn't it? But sometimes love wears the disguise of pity. The truth is, just 1 extra spoon each day can make your dog gain weight faster than you'd think. And when a dog gains 5 or 10 pounds or more, it's a big burden. For us, maybe an extra 10 lbs is a heavy backpack. For them, every joint, every heartbeat, every breath is strained. According to the Association for Pet Obesity Prevention, APOP, nearly 60% of dogs in the US are overweight. But the scary part is most owners don't know it. Because weight doesn't jump overnight, it creeps up day by day until one morning you realize your dog can't jump onto the bed like before, or is panting after 3 steps of stairs. True love isn't about a full bowl, it's about balance. Measure with the scoop instead of by eye. Know your dog's weight and adjust gradually. Like tuning an old radio, a slight turn changes everything, because your dog doesn't need more food, it needs more years. Section 4. Walking. Right after a meal. You feed your dog, clip on the leash, and head out for that nice morning walk. Seems right, but inside its body a storm is preparing. When the stomach is full, food and air mix, creating pressure. When the dog jumps, runs, or twists suddenly, that pressure can lead to stomach torsion, just like shaking a soda can, then opening it. Vets call this GDV, gastric dilatation and volvulus. When it happens, blood flow is blocked, gas can't escape, and the clock counts down, sometimes only hours. It's frightening because GDV doesn't only happen in large breeds. Any dog can get it just because of that timing. The fix is simple: reverse the routine. Walk first, then feed, or if already fed, let them rest at least 30 to 45 minutes before the activity. Let digestion happen calmly without pressure, because sometimes our hurry becomes the reason their heart stops too soon. Section 5. Ignoring the food label. Honestly, when was the last time you flipped that bag of dog food and read the back? You pick the bag with the pretty packaging, big health claims, premium, grain-free, and think you're done. But inside that bag may lie the thing, quietly making your dog weaker day by day. Most people look at the front. The truth is almost always on the back. Check the first 5 ingredients. If you see corn, wheat, or byproduct that's not nutrition, it's filler. It fills the bowl but not the body. It's like putting watered-down fuel in a car. It runs but falls apart. Then there are preservatives. BHA, BHT, seemingly harmless letters, yet several countries restrict them in human food due to cancer risk. And they're still in many dog foods you buy each week. Research from Tufts University and University of California, Davis warns of long-term damage: liver, kidneys, immune system, all affected when exposed to chemicals daily. Dog food isn't just dog chow, it's daily medicine for their body. If you don't know what's in the bowl, you're not feeding them, you're gambling. Pick a food with real protein. Chicken, salmon, beef, not animal meal, not digest. Choose names you understand, not terms you're Googling, because your dog doesn't care about packaging hype. What they need is real food given with real love. Section 6. Feeding the same food. Forever. Your dog has eaten one brand for years. You think it works, why change? That's the mistake many make, because like us, a dog's body changes with time, and their food should change with it. As a puppy, they're energy machines, jumping, burning calories, growing. They need high-protein, high-calcium fuel. As adults or seniors, that high-energy diet becomes a burden: extra fat, joint inflammation, fatigue. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Medicine found dogs fed according to life stage categories: puppy, adult, senior lived longer, had fewer diseases, and were happier. When food fits the stage, the body doesn't struggle, it thrives. Look at your dog today. Does it still bound like it did? Or nap more, move slower? Not just getting old, maybe your food hasn't adapted. Speak to your vet. Choose food based on age, weight, exercise. Changing diet isn't betrayal, it's a greater way to love. Section 7. Thinking. Kibble is complete. You read balanced and complete on that bag of kibble. Feels safe, right? But no bag is truly perfect. Kibble small. Dry pellets are cooked at over 400 degrees Fahrenheit ground, extruded stored for months. In that process, half the natural vitamins omega-3 and live enzymes are destroyed. Imagine you cooked a meal, stored it in the fridge for 6 months, then ate it daily. How would your body feel? For your dog, that's happening daily. Research published in the Journal of Animal Physiology shows that high-heat processed foods generate ages-advanced glycation, end products compounds that drive inflammation, damaging liver, kidneys, and aging faster in both humans and dogs. The good news: you don't need to ditch kibble entirely. Just add a bit of real life to it. A steamed carrot piece, a few green peas, a bit of cooked chicken, or a handful of fresh blueberries. Amino additions have shown to reduce cancer risk by up to 90% in a 10-year Purdue study. You don't need to be a chef. You just need to care. Because sometimes the difference between just surviving and thriving is a spoon of veggies. A moment of mindfulness. Dry food feeds the body. Real food nourishes the soul. Section 8. Leaving food out. All day. You think a bowl filled all day is thoughtful. They'll eat when they're hungry. Sounds caring, but actually it's one of the most dangerous habits for a dog's health. Their bodies aren't made to graze like cows. In the wild, they hunt, eat, rest. Not nibble all day. When the bowl is always full, insulin stays high. Digestion never rests. Body goes into storage mode. Fat accumulates, liver overloads. Pancreas, which handles sugar and fats, weakens. A study from University of Copenhagen on 1,500+ dogs found free-feeding food out all day raised diabetes risk by 3-fold compared to timed feeding. Worse, you won't know when the dog starts eating less or skipping meals. By the time you notice disease, it's too late. The fix is simple: feed at specific times and remove the bowl after 15 minutes. Not to punish, but to restore the natural rhythm this body was meant for. Let mealtime be an event, not background noise. Because when food is always available, it stops being joy. It becomes white noise that masks when something's wrong. Section 9. Feeding from the table. You sit down for dinner and those eyes appear. Big, clear, full of expectation. The head tilts, tail gives a small wag. You smile. Break a little piece of meat. Let it fall. Just this once, what harm? You feel good. So does the dog. But in that moment, you might be setting off a chain reaction for disease you'll only see years later. Many human foods contain things dogs can't handle: onions, garlic, salt, butter, rich sauces, xylitol in sweets, even a seemingly harmless roasted chicken piece. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPCA, receives over 180,000 calls annually for dog poisonings from human food. Not just chocolate or grapes, the tiny harmless piece counts too. The sad part: effects aren't immediate. Not vomiting, not collapse, but inside liver, kidneys, blood vessels weaken day by day until one morning you get the tragic call and don't know why. I know it's hard to say no when they look at you like that, but love isn't giving them everything they want. Love is knowing when to say no, because if one small treat could cost decades of life, then maybe no is the greatest way you say I love you. Section 10. Switching food. Too fast. You bought a premium new food, high nutrition, top brand. You feel good and switch immediately. Few days later, dog refuses food. Maybe vomits, maybe diarrhea. You worry. The truth is, its body wasn't ready. Inside every dog is a microbial army, trillions of beneficial bacteria trained to digest what they eat each day. Switching food overnight is like firing the army, bringing in strangers with no map. They don't know how to handle it. The gut protests and pushes everything out. It's not the food that's bad, it's the shock of change. A study from University of Illinois found 78% of dogs experience digestive upset when switched food too quickly. That doesn't make the new food bad. It means the change needs time. Picture your dog's gut like a small town. You can't replace all the residents at once. You need time to integrate. With food, Day Vamazwan, IFRS 75% old, plus 25% new. Day 3, IF 5550. End of week, full switch. Don't let good intentions become hidden harm, because sometimes the thing you think is better care is what their body hasn't caught up with. Now you know the 10 most common feeding mistakes that 98% of dog owners make. It's time to remember that loving truly isn't about giving more, but giving right. You've learned sometimes the most hurtful things in neglect, it's love done the wrong way. None of us were born knowing how to care perfectly for a dog. No one taught us that one extra spoon, one unchecked habit, one wrong walk time could cost so much. We learn day by day through their eyes, their size, the way they curl up in our laps as if we are enough. If you're reading this today, congratulations. You're ahead of 98% of dog owners because you're choosing to love right. Not just feed, but understand. Not just care, but listen. And sometimes just one small shift in routine is enough to give years more of life together. Look at your dog, maybe curled up at your feet, maybe waiting in the yard with complete trust. They ask for little, just for you to live well and to understand them more each day. Because to them, you're not just an owner. You are the whole world. If this text helped you see your dog with softer eyes, share it. A click could save a life. A small action could change a dog's world. And if you want to continue this journey with us, the journey that every dog lives longer, healthier, happier, hit subscribe. Not for numbers, but for love. Real love for the most loyal friend a human can have.